I'm in the kitchen doing it that way. So I need to make sure can you guys can hear me clearly. So if I fade out, um, just let me know. You guys can't hear me for any reason.
You cooking dinner for us?
No, I'm not cooking dinner. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be shooting a video
Okay.
from there because of the stuff that I'm gonna be using. I mean, pulling up and things like that. So that's pretty much how that's gonna work. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Just giving people a few more seconds to get in here, guys. Who knows how to use Zoom on here? Anybody?
No, I don't. I don't.
I'm only asking because I'm gonna have my computer sitting up on something. So if anybody joins, I want to make sure that they get let in. But I might be able to let me see something real quick. I might be able to do something about that anyway before I even start. Let me see.
That's something you got to teach us. I know you. I'm muting myself. I want to hear your mouth.
One day soon.
Yeah. All right. So who's willing to learn?
Where's she going?
I am.
Yeah, what you need? I'm telling you.
All right. That's Stephanie Bob. So this is what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna make you. Stephanie. I'm gonna make you a co-host, right? And what's gonna happen is, if somebody enters into the Zoom, it's gonna ask you to let them in. You're gonna see something drop down your screen that's gonna say let them in. Just click it to let them in. That's all. That's all you're gonna have to do. Real easy. Now, was that Stephanie that said she would help, or was that Barbara? Who said that?
Yeah, that was Stephanie.
Oh, okay, it was Stephanie. All right, no, that's
Well,
fine.
it wasn't me.
I think it was Stephanie.
Okay.
I like that, Barbara.
Yeah,
You are.
thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Mr. Dunbar.
Yeah, you'll see it show up, Stephanie. Like it'll drop right down on your screen. It'll be something that'll say, it'll have their name. It'll say Stephanie Bob is in a waiting room or whatever, and you'll see something that says admitter, and you're just gonna click it. It'll just let her in. You don't have to do anything else. Because my computer is gonna be at a distance from me, so I'm gonna have to keep reaching to do it, and I don't want to have to do that. So that's why I'm doing it that way. That is why. So I got a couple things I'm going to have pull it up, and I'll cut my camera on in a second. But I'm gonna have a couple things I'm gonna have pulled up here, and I'm going to kind of just read some things off to you guys when it comes to just kind of making sure your fridge is full, and making sure your fridge has things in it to kind of prepare things so that it's convenient for you to do the things you need to do as far as being healthy. So I'm gonna make sure I have that stuff available for you guys. And anybody that has the book, the ebook, it's like pages like 29 through 33, just so you know. It's pages 29 through 33. So those are the pages that we're gonna be going over. So it's not a whole bunch of pages, just pretty much some significant information that we're gonna be talking about here. So mm-hmm. All right. Go ahead and pull this down. All right, you guys can see everything? Yes, no, you don't think so? You're not sure?
Yeah, I see you.
You see the
Standing in your
Hollywood
kitchen.
squares. Yeah.
You good?
Yeah,
Good.
Jim, what's up, man?
I've been here. I'm doing
You guys
well.
good? All right. You been here? Yeah, I didn't see you. I can't see the names right now. I can't see any of the names because I had set up differently tonight. So I'm kind of at a distance from the computer, so I can't really see anything. But now I see Barbara, but other than that, I couldn't see anybody else. So welcome. So what we're gonna do is talk about kind of filling your fridge and making sure you got some things in there so that you can make sure you can prepare meals, make sure you know how to kind of be on the go, and make sure that you're doing it in a healthy way. Because one of the quickest ways, of course, to fall off of that healthy lifestyle wagon is for things to get inconvenient for us, especially if you want to go, if you're working your 9 to 5 or whatever you've got going on. So you want to make sure whether you're traveling, whether you're going just back and forth to work, whether you're taking your kids to a game or whatever you've got going on, that you don't fall into that trap of things being inconvenient and ended up in a drive-through of a McDonald's at 2 o'clock in the morning. So that's definitely not convenient. And I know they got some help. They try to change their menu and make some things healthy there, but for the most part, we want to be a little bit healthier than that. So Robert Dunbar Training by Dunbar. If you're watching this as a recorded video on the YouTube channel on IGTV, just click on the bottom right-hand side. And you can also hit the notification bell. And so that's the way you get notified of any videos that we drop. We normally do 3 videos a week. One on CDLP selling strategies, Wednesdays becoming an entrepreneur, and we're going to be starting a training on Thursdays, a leadership training. So those 3 videos are dropping. Then I also do videos less than 10 minutes on a weekly basis on different topics. I just shot a video on complex carbs. You guys may have seen that video, and just talking about using carbs in a positive way and taking them in and making sure you can get the energy out of them that you need. So Today we're gonna be talking about filling the fridge. So again, if you have the book, Health is Success 2021, we're talking about pages 29 through 33, and that is going to be really just covering some things that you should have in the refrigerator. And like for me, I don't ever really fill my fridge. So when I mean fill your fridge, I don't mean fill it to the hilt where things are getting old. I mean fill it with the right food so that you can make sure that you have the things you need. And for those that think that it's expensive to eat healthy, it's much more expensive to go to a restaurant to eat, and it's much more expensive to buy medication later on than it is to get multivitamins right now. So just keep that in mind. So you're gonna pay now or you're gonna pay later. And really, if you look at being healthy, it's really not that much more expensive. There's some items that cost more. So you may find some items that cost a little bit more, like organic things like that may cost a little bit more. And it depends on where you shop at, whether things are going to cost more. But typically speaking, I've kind of done a little bit of homework on it, and it's really not more expensive to eat healthy except in specific areas. So if you cut down on those specific areas, which will be easy for you to do, and if you're eating out less because you're eating healthy anyway, you're going to still end up saving money because it's always less expensive to cook at home, buy and cook at home than it is to eat in a restaurant anyway. So I kind of stay away from restaurants unless it's a social gathering or maybe like a date night or something like that. I'm not saying don't go to restaurants at all. Just keep in mind that food is going to be processed. You don't really know what it. So when it comes, you got your days, you also have different. If you're calorie doing calorie cycling or anything like that, then you can go and take in some extra calories because you're gonna make it up somewhere else, or make sure that you're still in that calorie deficit if you're looking to lose weight. But for the most part, you can go to restaurants, but you're definitely gonna end up cutting down on restaurants when it comes to being healthy. So just looking at the first page, which is page 29, that says fill the fridge. Let's talk about nothing being worse than having a growling stomach and really not being in a position to feed yourself with something healthy. So when we get to the Ziploc section, I'll go into a little bit more on what I do when it comes to Ziplocs and how you can carry things with you. I always keep either a backpack or just like a carry bag with me. And I've always got bottled water or filtered water, and I always have snacks in the bag as well. I normally keep a piece of fruit. I normally carry a banana with me when I'm going places, and I carry that banana with me just to make sure that if I get hungry or something like that, I can eat something healthy like a banana. I'm always looking to put as much protein in my diet as I can, simply because I work out, and I know I get a little bit of protein in a banana, and a banana is going to be a little bit filling, so I can always eat a banana. So I always keep a banana, or you can keep another fruit with you. I don't like to keep oranges and tangerines and things like that because you have to peel them, and now you kind of smelling like, tangerine or orange. So I tried that, doesn't work for me, but it might work for you. And you also have your nuts and things like that. And I'll go over a couple of different types of nuts that you may be able to take advantage of putting in your bag and eating, and just make sure that they're raw or lightly salted, not really like the glazed and things like that. So we're going to get into a little bit of that. So it says this is one of the most common ways that you can accidentally thwart your own roadmap to success. It's far too easy to jump online and order takeout instead of having a kitchen stocked with kind of nutritious food. And I'm not a dieter. So for those that follow me at all, I don't really do diets. I just believe in kind of a healthy lifestyle and just doing the best you can. So I know I was talking on a call or a clubhouse the other day, and I was saying I follow the 80-20 rule when it comes to eating healthy. So I'm not always going to eat healthy. There's days, plenty of days that I fail and I'll eat something I shouldn't eat for whatever reason. But as long as I'm doing the right thing about 80% of the time, I'm going to stay healthy. It's okay to eat something bad every now and then. It's okay to have your ice cream if you want to have your ice cream. Just do it in moderation. Definitely do it in moderation. Cut down how much you eat, and always try to make sure you eat something healthy before you eat it. So that's like a rule that I'll follow. So if I know that I like to eat ice cream, and I know I'm going to want some ice cream, I have the urge for ice cream, I always try to reward myself first by eating something like healthy. So I say I'm gonna balance it. So I may eat a salad, or I may eat some chicken breast and some vegetables or something like that. And that serves two purposes. One, You eat something healthy first. That's the first thing. Two, you put something in your stomach so you don't eat as much as the bad item as you thought you would have eaten as you just eaten that. So if you have an urge for ice cream and you just go eat the ice cream, you're going to eat a lot of ice cream. If you have salad first, you're going to eat less ice cream. If you have some chicken breast and some vegetables, something that maybe satiate you first, then you won't eat as much ice cream. So keep that in mind too as well. So it says you don't need large amounts of food to be able to whip up something quick. And I'm going to show you guys just a few different things. You want to have some basic protein, some greens, things like that, so that you can keep in your house. And you know how you eat at your house. You know how your family eats at your house. So try to buy those things. Limit how much you buy so that it doesn't get old, so that it's fresh as possible. So I know how I eat things. So when I'm buying my greens and things like that, I know how much I'm gonna use it. I know I'm gonna put some in my smoothie. I know I make a lot of salads, so I know how much spinach or kale that I'm gonna buy. So keep that in mind too. So things like stir frying chicken. If you eat meat, if you're not a vegetarian, if you eat beef, I'll tell you, like, to give you an idea of what kind of beef to buy if you're buying those things. I'm more of a chicken and fish kind of person. I don't eat a lot of beef. I probably eat beef 2 or 3 times a year. And it's not because there's any science behind me not eating it. I'm just not really a big beef person. So most of the meat that I'm going to take in is going to be chicken, and then I'm going to eat a lot of poultry. So I do a lot of scallops, a lot of shrimp, and a lot of salmon. That's a lot of what I eat when it comes to poultry. So let's talk about some lean proteins that you should probably have in your house. So I got here just chicken, and like this is the free range chicken. And a lot of times I'll get the harvest lamb by per cost a little bit more. But again, they have chicken that costs less than this. So you don't necessarily have to use this chicken. I use this chicken because it's like designer, right? So you've got some designer things that are really high quality, and that's why you buy them. You got some people that buy things because they have a good name, but the product is not that much better than a generic product. So for me, if I'm going to buy a designer, it's going to be because the quality is good. So I eat a lot of chicken breast. So what I realize is that the better brand it is, the more that it stays the weight that you weighed it at when you cook it, because chicken breast will have a lot of water in it. So I'll give you an example. Yesterday I cooked chicken breast, and I had this brand right here, chicken breast, and this is tenderloins right here, but I had chicken breast by Purdue Heartland, and I weighed it out, and it was a pound, right, 16 ounces. And when I cooked it, when I was finished cooking it, it went down to about 12 and a half, 13 ounces. So I lost about 3.5 ounces while I cooked it. And I always cook it. I cook it really light, extra virgin olive oil in a pan. I don't cook it long at all. And it still lost about 3.5 ounces on that cook, which is typical. But if I had a cheaper brand, right, that wasn't this, because just like I said, this is the Harvest Land, and this is the free range. If I would have had a cheaper brand, I may have lost maybe 6 to 7 ounces. So when you're talking about losing that much in weight on your chicken, then you're really better off buying a better chicken, because then you kind of get your money's worth. Because if you spend less money, but you end up with less chicken, then you kind of didn't really get a good deal, if that makes sense. So what I realized with a better brand of chicken, and this is not the best brand, they got better brands than this, obviously, but this brand right here, this was $5.14 a pound. So that's relative. You got something that's gonna be $7 to $8 a pound. It depends on where you shop at and what kind of you're looking for. Are you looking for organic? Whatever your deal is. But for me, again, about 3.5 ounces I lost on cooking a pound, on cooking 16 ounces. But I've used a cheaper brand of chicken and lost 6 or 7 ounces on a pound. Now you're talking about almost half the chicken. So you buy a pound of chicken and you end up with half a pound after you cook it, because it's a lot of water in it. Then really you're better off buying the more expensive chicken. So I hope that makes sense to anybody. And if anybody had that experience, jump in the chat. Just let me know that you had that experience and you understand what I'm talking about. I know some of the women that's on here probably do some cooking, and you probably had that experience. If you weigh your food, I weigh my food, so I know how much it weighs, because when I'm preparing my food, I want to make sure I'm taking in a specific amount. So I normally do 6 to 8 ounces portion when it comes to my chicken, so that I'm not overeating, because I do different programs with my clients and sometimes just for myself, because I'm on a different plan for myself. Not dieting, just different plans that I'll use to get to a specific weight. I may be trying to cut, I might be trying to bulk, I may be trying to lose weight. So whatever I'm doing, I'm on some program that maybe I created or read, and I'm preparing my food based on that. So lean protein. You also have beef, and you want to get 90 to 10. So if you're going to get some beef, you want to get that lean protein, you want to get beef, make sure it says 90-10 on there when you're buying it, so that you make sure that you're getting lean beef, so because you don't want as much fat. You want healthy fats in your diet, but you don't want a whole bunch of unhealthy fats. So when it comes to that, make sure it's 90-10 beef. You got lentils, you got your beans, and when you're talking about fruits and vegetables on protein, guys, try to get low glycemic fruits and vegetables. So you're talking about grapefruit, cherries, dry apricots, things like that. So when you're going to buy fruit, you know what kind of fruit that you like. You know what kind of vegetables that you like. Go online and pull up low glycemic fruits and vegetables to find out which ones are low glycemic, because those are going to be better for you, so that you don't get that, that you don't get that spike. So for those that need to have that, make sure you're pulling that. I try to go with low glycemic myself. I don't always, but I do sometimes, so that it balances out for me. But those fruits and those vegetables are going to be a good source of protein too. And of course, nuts are a good source of proteins, but they're calorie dense. So just make sure, if you're looking at counting calories, I count calories. If you're counting calories and you know that you pretty much balance out at 2,000 calories, just know if you're eating a lot of nuts, you're going to have a lot of healthy fat. So be careful with that. And you're going to also have something that's calorie dense. So when I'm looking at maybe like some walnuts, so like a serving of walnuts might be like 28 grams for a serving. That's going to be like 190 calories typically. So and that's only a handful of walnuts. So that handful of walnuts is not going to do a whole bunch for filling your stomach, but it's going to be 190 calories. So keep that in mind. Something that a fruit that I use a lot of times when I'm hungry to fill myself and I don't want to put a lot of calories in my system when it comes to fruit, is watermelon. Watermelon, you get a good ratio on that. You'll fill your stomach with the watermelon. You're getting a good fruit, and it's natural sugar inside the watermelon. Most of the watermelon is going to be water, obviously. So you're getting water. You don't have to worry about the sugar as much because it's natural sugar. So when they're saying 38 grams of sugar for a daily percentage, you're talking about added sugar. So just keep that in mind. Again, I was doing a Clubhouse the other day, and we had a heavy conversation about that. When it comes to sugar, keep in mind that we're talking about added sugar. We're talking about processed sugar. We're not talking about sugar that's going to be in baby carrots, sugar that's going to be in watermelon. Those sugars are fine to take in because they're natural and your body knows what to do with them. Now, I'm not saying overindulge in it. I'm just telling you that you can take a lot more of that. So you can eat a lot of fruits, a lot of vegetables. And just kind of a side note on the fruits and vegetables, if you're a juicer, you're kind of affecting how that spikes your sugar when you are juicing. So I'm not telling you not to juice. I am telling you, if you're going to juice, then make sure that you don't do it so much that you're drinking so much that it affects you negatively. So a piece of fruit like an orange or a watermelon, or particularly a fruit that has a lot of fiber, when you juice it, you lose the fiber, which is really helping the fruit and the sugar absorb and digest slower. So what you don't want to do when you juice, all the pulp and all those other things in the orange, you don't get those things anymore. So when you lose those, you're getting the high sugar content that's in that orange, right? But it's not being balanced out by the fiber because you've juiced it. So typically in a household, if you're gonna have juice, 6 to 8 ounces, right, a serving, right? So don't get your big glass that you have in the house and fill it up, because I know we like to say a cup is our cup. The cup that we like to drink out of, we call it a cup. But really, clinically, medically, when you're looking at taking things into your system, 6 to 8 ounces, right? If you can do 6, because that's really going to be your cup. So do that 6 to 8 ounces on that juice, and you can maybe have 2 or 3 glasses of juice a day. But other than that, I wouldn't do any more than that. It's better to eat that fruit as a whole fruit, because now you're getting the fiber that balances out the sugar and the other things in there. So it's kind of like pairing, right? For those that drink wine, I'm a wine drinker. So, you know, you pair wine with certain foods, right? So that food is already paired where the fiber and the sugar and the things that they run together. So you want to eat that as a whole fruit if you can. So if you're juicing vegetables and fruits and vegetables, don't juice as much. Try to eat the vegetable as is so that you're getting the fiber, if that makes sense. So hopefully that's helpful to you guys. So if you don't have a chance to clean and soak like the beans, when you're talking about your lentils and beans and things like that, then you can buy canned for your protein. So you can buy your canned lentils and your beans. Just make sure you get the low sodium, because when you're talking about buying canned lentils and beans and things like that, soup, all those things, when they're canned, they have a lot of sodium in them. And for me, like I'm an African American guy, and I keep my sodium very low. My sodium intake daily is 2,000. Now, Healthline says I can take in about 2,300, but I go 300 under that. So I kept my sodium off at about 200. So if I eat a canned soup, which I never do, if I do have soup, it's normally homemade. But if I was sick and I didn't feel like standing in the kitchen and making soup myself, and I had to buy soup to get better, I would definitely buy the low sodium soup. I very rarely ever buy canned beans or lentils. I normally buy them fresh in the bag, and I soak them and clean them myself and cook them so that the sodium is not in them. So that is a good source of protein, but make sure if you're going to do canned, because it might be convenient because you might have your kids and your lifestyle running around. I don't want you to lose the ability of getting that protein in and buying a bad snack. I want you to have those things. So if you know you can't soak them and cook them properly out the bag, then just get them canned and get low sodium, if that makes sense. So on the page 30, I believe you're on page 30 right now. And you should see something said called frozen vegetables, if that's the case. And I got some frozen vegetables here. So just so you guys have an idea, right? So me, I normally do bird's eye, and I'll do California blend, or I'll do Normandy blend. You can also buy the frozen cauliflower, the frozen broccoli florets, frozen carrots. You can get frozen mixed vegetables. I normally do mixed, and I also know about like the flash freezing and blanching and all that kind of stuff. So for those that say, hey, look, I want fresh vegetables, you can pull it up online yourself. You can ask your doctor. You can ask a dietitian, a nutritionist, whoever you want. Guys, look, most of what you'll read will tell you frozen vegetables are actually better than the fresh vegetables, because when you're getting fresh vegetables, unless you live next door to a farm, unless you're growing your own vegetables in your backyard, right? So you're picking them and then cutting them. That's really fresh. If you're getting them out the store in the fresh food area, it's not as fresh as frozen, because the frozen, when it's picked, it's clean, it's cut, and it's flash froze. So it keeps all of its vitamins in there. So just keep that in mind. I know that you're thinking like fresh is better, but pull it up online yourself, check it yourself. The frozen is going to actually be fresher, because when they cut it, peel it, cut it, and freeze it, everything stops. So the time it takes to do that is very short. When you talk about the growers growing it, putting it on a truck, getting it to the supermarket, how long has it been at the supermarket? How long has it been in that food aisle before you grabbed it? It's lost a lot of its vitamins and minerals and all that kind of stuff. So it's not as fresh, even though it's fresh vegetables and fresh fruit. So just keep that in mind. So I do the frozen. I have a steamer over here that I use. I have a rice cooker and a steamer. I normally steam my vegetables right in that steamer and eat them that way. So that's a good option for you, your frozen vegetables. Kale, peas, carrots, Normandy, California. I just do those, and I'll also sometimes use Bella mushrooms with it. So I'll take like my Bella mushrooms. So let me pull some out here, because I actually have some here. So I'll take my Bella mushrooms, which is something else that I use in salad as well. So I hope you guys can see that. So and it'll be in the description of the video, so don't worry about that. So when you pull it up on YouTube, you'll see the description. All the foods that I'm talking about are going to be in the description, so you'll know what they are. So don't worry about writing anything down or any of those things. If you have the book, it's in the book already, but don't worry about it. But my Bella mushrooms, I will take these Bella mushrooms and I will put them in the steamer with the vegetables. So that does two things. One, it is more satiating. Two, I'm adding potassium with these mushrooms. So if I do about 4 cups of vegetables, if you do how many soups your need, your caloric intake and whatever kind of program that you're on. But for me, I'll do about 4 cups of vegetables, and then I'll also do some mushrooms with it, and I'll get my potassium level just from that up to be somewhere between 800 and 1,000 in potassium, milligrams of potassium with 4 cups of vegetables and some bella mushrooms. So that's convenient for me to be able to make in the house, and it's not something that's going to make me sleepy. It's not going to make me sluggish. It's light for me. It's healthy for me. You can put some butter in there if you want. So let me show you the butter that I use. I use a couple of different butters. One of the butters I use is a vegan plant-based butter called Earth Balance. So I use that. I'll have that in the description below. And I also use, I can't believe it's not butter, and I use the Light brand. And it's only 35 calories per tablespoon, so it's pretty good. Total fat, 4 grams. Sodium, 85 milligrams, right? So you got a good, healthy butter here if you're going to use butter. If you can do without the butter, always better to do without it if you can. I do put a tablespoon on my vegetables, and I put a little bit of seasoning on there. You can use some Mrs. Dash if you want low sodium. I have a bunch of different seasons over there in my seasoning rack, so I season my things differently. It depends on whatever mood I'm in. But those vegetables with those bella mushrooms are a good a little deal to have in your refrigerator to make sure. You can also steam the vegetables and put them with chicken breasts as well. So like yesterday, I had frozen vegetables steamed, 4 cups, and I had 7 ounces of chicken breast yesterday. So it was really light, didn't make me sleepy. That 7 ounces of chicken was about 40 to 50 grams of protein. And I take in about 170 grams of protein daily because I work out. So I'm on a program where I'm doing that. You don't have to take in that much. Obviously, talk to your nutrition, dietitian, whoever it is you deal with, your medical, your doctor, whoever you speak to about what your macros should be. I'm just telling you what mines are. I take in about 170 grams of protein. So that's a good source for me, the chicken breast. So that's kind of what I do. So look at some salad kits as well. So when you're talking about having some food available in your house, salad kits are very convenient if you don't have the time to make a salad. What is the best option? To make salad and just have it. You can make it. I make a lot of salad at a time. So you'll see when you watch the recording of this video, right above my head, you'll see something go across the top of my head. You click that, and it'll be the video that I just shot called Is Your Salad Healthy? So that video is on YouTube right now. It's on IGTV right now. So you can go there and look at it. I actually have it on LinkedIn, I believe, in Twitter as well. But that video is there. Is Your Salad Healthy? It's about a 20-minute video there. And that 20-minute video goes over what I put in my salad. I talk about everything I put in the salad, how I prepare the salad, all on that 20-minute video. So you can take a look at that video and see how I prepare my salads. Having a good prepared salad ready, like my salad lasts me about 2 days. I'll make enough to last me 2 days, and I'll snack on it for about 2 days. You can also buy a salad kit. The reason why I don't buy salad kits is because I don't like to use romaine lettuce, and I don't like to use the regular iceberg lettuce. I like to use kale, spinach, and arugula in my salads. So a lot of times the salad kits don't come with those. So I don't buy the salad kits. If it's convenient for you to buy it, again, it's better to have a salad kit than to eat something bad. But for me personally, I always make my own salads, and then I have my own dressings that I'll mention here. I'll show you the dressings that I use. I also have all the dressings on that video. Is Your Salad Healthy? I have all the salads listed in the description, and I'll bring them up on the screen on that video. So you can take a look at that video and see how that works out for you as well. But salad kits are a good option. But see if you can make your own salads. You can use that salad along with your chicken breast if you want to. Sometimes I just eat salad by itself. I'll just take a bowl of salad with my dressing that I have. I'll eat that bowl of salad with maybe a 22-ounce container of water, and I'm done. Like, that'll fill me up. So you have to do what's convenient for you. And that's what's so good about knowing your own personal body, is that when people are talking about how much you should eat and what's going to fill you up and how you should you eat 5 meals a day, 3 meals a day, or should you do an OMAD and do 1 meal a day? So if you hear somebody say OMAD, that's 1 meal a day. I'm a snacker. So sometimes I don't even do 1 meal a day. I snack all day long a lot of times. So I will literally go throughout my day and I'll eat small snacks. Not because it helps me lose weight, not because it does, it's just because I work from home and I like to eat kind of all day. So I have a lot of light snacks that I'll eat that don't take me over my calories that I should go over. It don't take me over my carbs that I should go over, and it gives me the protein that I need. So I make sure that I monitor my macros and all that. And how do I do that, guys? With my app, MyFitnessPal. I've talked about that app in the last 2 weeks. I also have it in the last 2 weeks video. I have it on the video description is there to go ahead and download that app, MyFitnessPal. I'm not affiliated with Under Armour with that, so don't worry about it. I'm not getting anything when you do it. It's a free app. Just put it on your phone so that you can count your calories and all that kind of stuff. So something else, and I'll show you my my shake maker as well that I use. So portion control. You can put simple vinegar on your salad if you want to. You can make your own salad dressing if you want to, or you can use some of the ones that I'm gonna talk about. So let me show you guys. As a matter of fact, let me show you guys just a few different salad dressings. So grab a couple of these real quick. I'm gonna grab 3 different brands here. And I normally have a few different flavors of these brands, but this is Skinny Girl. So I use Skinny Girl brand because it's low on sodium and it's fat-free and sugar-free. So like this balsamic vinaigrette is only 5 calories a serving, 90 milligrams of sodium. So guys, that's really low. That's really low when you're talking about a salad dressing, right? You got Odang. I use Odang as well. This flavor is actually roasted pepper, and it's a plant-based hummus dressing. They've got several flavors, right? This is one of the flavors that I use here. 25 calories a serving, sodium 170 milligrams, only 1 gram of sugar in here, guys. Another brand I use, Healthy Choice. This happens to be Healthy Choice Power Dressing. This is creamy Italian, 30 calories a serving. It's got 240 milligrams of sodium. Total sugars, 1 gram of sugar in here. So, and the sugar that's in these two, they're both natural sugars. There's no sugar added to these, and there's no sugar at all in this. So you got, those are just a couple of dressings. Again, they'll be in the description, and they're also in the description for the Is Your Salad Healthy as well. So let's look at a couple of other things here. So it says sometimes we just don't have time to whip up a quick meal, but our stomach is telling us that it's time to refuel. So on these days, it's great to have prepared meals in the home. So they've got companies, guys, that make prepared meals. You can order them. You can go through Thrive and order. You can call different companies and order different prepared meals and have them in the house if you're really that busy that you don't have time to prepare meals yourself. So I will prepare meals myself sometimes. I don't always do it on a weekly basis just because I don't. Sometimes it doesn't fit my schedule, and I'm just not a mundane person like that. So I don't always prepare meals that way. But whenever I am preparing meals, guys, I'll use like bowls like this that stack on top of each other, and I put them in the refrigerator, and I can take like some chicken breast, weigh it out, cook it, right? Some veggies, so like however many cups of veggies I'm gonna eat with that chicken breast, put it in a bowl, make sure I've got all my macros, my carbs, my fats, and my proteins in there. And I may do that for a week. I may do that for 3 or 4 days. I may do it for the weekend and say, look, I'm gonna prepare my food for the weekend because I got a busy weekend. And when I get hungry, I want to be able to go in there and just grab things. So I will prepare my food sometimes. If you don't want to cook, if you don't have time to cook, if you don't know how to cook, use a company that prepares the meals for you. Order the prepared meals. They'll drop them off at your door, or you can go to the grocery store. They have prepared meals at the grocery store too. A lot of them are going to have some processed things in them, so be careful of that. But they got some all natural places that will do it. So just go online, pull up a couple of places. I'll have some in the description of the video, of course, but you may want to use some other companies, or some of the places that I may pull may not be in your city or state. So remember, this is YouTube, this is Zoom, this is social media. So it's people that's going to look at this video that are from all over the world. So it depends on where you live, what they have available. So go online and figure out like what you can do there. So high protein meals, protein shakes, things like that. I'm a high protein person. So I've got two different smoothie makers. This is my NutriBullet. This is the one I use most of the time because I'm only making a smoothie for myself. It's smaller. I can travel with this as well. Really powerful smoothie maker. Don't worry about writing it down. It'll be in the description as well. It'll be a link in there where you can click in and go in there and buy it if you want a NutriBullet. But it comes with the cup like this, and it screws on. It comes with two different cup sizes that you can use, a bigger one and a smaller one. So I just put my ingredients in here, spin this top on there, put it upside down on the machine and twist it, and it blends my food up. So I make a lot of protein shakes with this. So that's what I use that for. I do have a bigger one over here in the corner. And before I forget, while I'm talking about my smoothie maker, in my video that I shot about salad, is your salad healthy? I stopped and I talked a minute about knives. So this is really important. So if you're preparing food at home, right? And I'm making a note to say that in the video. If you're a guy and you live by yourself, like I live by myself, right? So I still have a couple of knife sets. This knife set right here is Milano from New York. I have this knife set. It's a really, really good knife set, guys. This one only has 5, and I have some that have more in it. But it's got really good stainless steel knives in here, different sizes, different size knives. If you're looking for one, it's got the ridges you got here, right? I got my paring knife. I got all those different knives in here. When you're preparing food, butterflying chicken, cutting steak, seasoning food, cutting your vegetables, you want to make sure you have a veggie peeler. You want to make sure you've got a good knife set so that you're not killing yourself cutting food up. You want it to be convenient, guys. The more convenient it is to prepare food, the more convenient it is to be healthy, the longer you'll do it, and you'll stick to that game plan, and the healthier you'll be. So I'm telling you, invest in some good knife sets. It'll help out when you're preparing food. I got something to match my kitchen set, but works good for me. Now, moving on to the protein shakes. So in my protein shakes, I use vegan protein, plant-based vegan protein by Vega. I'll put that in the description as well of the video. So you can use your protein. Make sure you know what your body can take and what it can't take. Some people are allergic to some things. I tried several different protein shakes. Like whey does not do good in my body. So I had to stay away from protein powders that have whey in them. So I found Vega. Vega is a plant-based vegan protein powder. That's what I use when I make my protein shakes. And keep in mind, when you're taking a protein, you don't want to supplement more than 30 to 40% of your daily protein. So let's say that you're taking in 100 grams of protein daily. Only 30 to 40% of that should be a supplement. So you can't eat a bunch of protein bars and protein powder as a means of protein. You can, but it's not as healthy as you having it from a source of food, right? Maybe your vegetables or your beans or your lean proteins like your chicken or your beef. That is going to be your best source of your protein. So just kind of use the supplement, but don't let it exceed 30 to 40% of your daily intake of your protein. So with me, one of the protein shakes that I make that I do pretty easily, pretty regularly, is I'll take 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, and I use the Crazy Richards peanut butter, which is nothing but peanuts. So there's not any other ingredients in there. I'll use that, no sugar in my peanut butter. I use 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. I'll put a banana in there as well. I use some Special K, some protein Special K, and I'll show you guys that. So 2 different kinds. You got this protein Special K that I use, and I'll put this in the description. This brand, this is honey almond, ancient grains. And then you also have this one with a touch of cinnamon. Both of these are 15 grams, right? 15 grams of protein when you put a cup and a third of that in that smoothie, with your peanut butter and things like that. Something else I use, right? So I'm walking away from the camera, guys. Ezekiel 4:9. Really good source of protein and fiber. So I'll use this Ezekiel 9 sometimes in my protein shake, and it's got 8 grams of protein. It's 200 calories. I put a half a cup of this in there. It's got only total fat, only 3 grams, 150 grams of sodium, only 1 gram of sugar. The dietary fiber is 6 grams on this, guys. So Ezekiel 4:9 is a very healthy food. And let me tell you something else about this Ezekiel 4:9. You'll see it here. Pull this up online when you get a chance. Sprouted. It's sprouted. Sprouted is very, very, very healthy. So if you can get sprouted things, make sure you get a brand that says sprouted. So this Ezekiel 4:9 is a good item to put in your protein shake. I use my protein powder, of course, and I also put inside of that shake, I put my collagen, and my collagen actually has protein in it as well. So again, it'll be in the description, so don't worry about it if you can't see it. Collagen peptides by Truly Inspired. They have some vegan collagen too as well. They also have marina collagen, which is collagen from fish. If you're like a no meat eater. So some people don't eat meat. So if you're a person that you don't eat meat, make sure you don't get the collagen, the grass-fed. So this right here, grass-fed and pasteurized raised, that means it came from beef. That means it came from a cow, right? Don't get this kind of collagen if you're a person that don't eat meat, because it's probably gonna upset your stomach. If you eat fish, get the marina. If you don't eat fish or meat, get a collagen that is going to be plant-based collagen. They do have it. It costs a little bit more, but if you're a person that you're a vegetarian or you're plant-based, you know that stuff costs a little bit more anyway, so that is probably in your budget. But this is something else that I put inside of a protein shake when I'm doing a protein shake. I mix it up a little bit when I'm doing my protein shakes, and I also have a really good milk that I use. I have a couple of milks that I use, but I'm gonna show you guys one particularly that I just started using. Now, this milk has a lot of calories in it, but so if you can spare the calories, but if you want the protein, if the protein is important to you, Silk Ultra, 20 grams of protein for a cup of this milk. So it's a really good milk. It's 180 calories, but you're getting 20 grams of protein. It's plant-based, it's silk, non-dairy, no sugar in this milk. Excellent source of calcium, great source of protein, guys. So if you're plant-based, no dairy, no gluten, no cholesterol, no artificial colors, no artificial flavors in this milk. So if you want to put milk in your smoothie, sometimes I do my smoothies with just water. So I play with them. It depends on what I want to take in that day and what I don't want to take in that day. So if I do put milk in my smoothie, I definitely will use a 20-gram protein. They also have a protein 10 by Silk, which is a cashew milk that you can use as well. So that's another one that you can put inside of your shake. So those work for me. You can use those for on the go. If you're leaving the house, you're gonna run out the house, make your protein shake. It's great to have after your workout if you're doing any workouts, because you want to put some protein in your body within the next 3 or 4 hours after your workout. You want to get some protein to kind of help repair your muscles if you're doing any of those things. So let's talk about prepared snacks. Where we at, 9:50? Let's talk about some prepared snacks. So when you're talking about prepared snacks, we're talking about like things like string cheese, protein bars, rice cakes, right? So rice cakes, I'm a rice cake fanatic. So let me tell you, I'm serious about my rice cakes. This right here is Quaker. This is lightly salted, but I have lightly salted. I have tomato basil. I have everything. I have caramel. I have apple cinnamon. Like I have all those different ones in my cabinet. So I eat a lot of rice cakes because they're healthy. Make sure you're getting the right kind though. The healthiest brand. Like Quaker is a good brand. There's another brand that the name begins with it's like Londonberg or something like that. The name begins with an L. I know they sell them at Publix and some other store or grocery stores. Target sells it, right? So for those who know what Target is, Target, right? They sell them and they're pretty healthy. Like these rice cakes, gluten-free, 100% whole grains, no fructose corn syrup, and they're made with brown rice. Brown rice. So if you can get the rice cakes made with brown rice, that's a better option. If they got 100% whole grains, better option. So when I look at my rice cakes, this is important. And I lost track of your name. Jim was mentioning to me about doing label reading, right? I'm a big label reader. So these rice cakes, guys, let me tell you what's on the label for ingredients. Whole grain brown rice and salt. That's it. That's it. So if you've got 3 or 4 lines of ingredients in there, guys, it's processed. It's probably a whole bunch of stuff in there that you don't need. So make sure that when you get your rice cakes that you read the back and make sure you're getting healthier rice cakes because these are only 35 calories per rice cake, 15 milligrams of sodium, no sugar at all in these, right? So the sweeter ones do have sugar, but these ones don't. Most of the ones that I use, they don't have the sugar in them. So fruits, remember, fruits and vegetables, guys, low glycemic. When you're talking about that, refrigerated baby carrots, I eat these almost on a daily basis. There's a couple of companies that make them. They got organic ones as well. These ones, I don't think these are organic, but they have organic ones. They have them cut in French fries size. They have them cut like dimes sometimes. These are just individual baby carrots. I buy a lot of these and I eat these almost on a daily basis. So I'll weigh them on my food scale. So all I do is I take one of my little containers, right? Like this, take a little container like that, put them in there. I put about 120 grams in there, which is about a serving for me, about 100 grams a serving. I take my food scale, I weigh it, and I will put maybe a little bit of salad dressing on them, or I'll eat them by themselves, or I'll eat them with hummus. So I eat a lot of hummus as well. So I will sometimes dip the baby carrots in hummus. Just a snack that you guys can look at, something light, something that you can take advantage of eating and know that you're not putting too many calories in your system. Healthy chips. So what is a healthy chip? So Way Better. This is a brand that I'll eat, right? So Way Better is a healthy chip, gluten-free, non-GMO, whole grain. So as you start to learn to read labels, you'll see, like on the back of this label, there's a little whole grain logo back there to let you know that it's 100% whole grain. So when I'm reading the back of it, it's 130 calories per serving for these chips. And these happen to be the sweet potato, whole grain corn, tortilla chips. They got quinoa in there, and they also have chia in there. So 7 grams of fat in these, 80 grams of sodium, 16 carbs. But when you're talking about complex carbs, guys, that's why the whole grains are so important. Complex carbs. The whole grains are very, 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 very important when it comes to that. So just keep that in mind. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me do something here. 1 second. Bear with me. All right, I want to make sure I didn't have anybody. Unmuted here. Sorry, give me a second, guys. All right, there we go. All right, so these chips right here, dietary fiber 2, total grams of sugar 1, that's it. So pretty healthy, got some vitamins, got some minerals in there, got some potassium in there. So these are healthy chips. Another brand of healthy chips that I'll use is Harvest Snaps. So the Harvest Snaps work really well as well. 130 grams for a serving of these. Dietary fibers, 4. Only 1 gram of sugar inside these. So pretty healthy here. 190 milligrams of potassium and 5 grams of protein on this snack. So again, healthier snacks, guys, that you can eat so that you're not eating the wrong thing. Something else that I use as a healthy snack, Triscuits. I do Triscuits as well. Triscuits are a healthier snack. These, I'm gonna read it, 120 milligrams, 120 calories per serving on these, 4 grams of fat, 140 milligrams of sodium, no sugar at all, 3 grams of protein, and this as well, 120 grams of potassium. So again, a healthier snack. And when you're talking about carbs, so the carbs on this is 20 grams, but when I look at the ingredients, it's whole grain wheat. So because it's whole grain wheat, those carbs are complex carbs. So those are some good carbs for you to take in as you're eating those healthier snacks. So keep in mind, you got to have carbs in your system. So if you're on keto, that might be for a specific amount of time, but generally speaking, you want to have those complex carbs. If you don't know what complex carbs is, I'll look at the video. It's probably going across my head when you're looking at the recording, and it's going to be a video that I did on complex carbs, and it talks about how to introduce complex carbs into your diet so that you can make sure you're getting those carbohydrates, because your body burns that for energy, guys. So make sure you're using that. Another little trick that I'll use when it comes to preparing food with my chicken is I'll do a stir fry. Right, I'll do a stir fry. So I'll get my frozen stir fry, and I'll use this with my chicken, with my boneless, skinless chicken breast. I'll make that. Sometimes I'll also add some bella mushrooms in there as well, which is, again, a lot of potassium. Most of my potassium I get from bananas and my bella mushrooms. So if you look at bananas and bella mushrooms, a lot of potassium. I try to get about 3,000 milligrams of potassium daily. You don't want to be low on potassium because that causes other medical situations. So I read up on that. So that's why I take in so much potassium. I make sure I get my share of potassium every day. So Ziploc bags, guys, for your snacks. So you can just buy just a regular box of Ziploc bags, nothing fancy. You don't have to get anything fancy. Ziploc bags help you have snacks handy. So when I'm traveling, I put my baby carrots, right? I weigh them out. I put them in Ziploc bags. My almonds, my pecans, my cashews, all of those nuts, I put them in bags. I weigh them and I put them in my cupboard in bags. So if I want a snack, I'll just grab a couple of bags out of there, and I know that they're already weighed, so I don't have to worry about eating too much. Sometimes we eye things. Nuts is one of the things that you can eye very wrongly because they're very dense. So you shouldn't be taking in more than about 28 grams per serving when it comes to nuts and things like that. So just weigh them ahead of time. Again, just take like I showed you guys here, little dish like this. Like this dish is 20 grams. So it ends up being 48 grams when I put the nuts in there. I put it on the scale, on my food scale, weigh it, dump it in a Ziploc bag, and I make a bunch of those. That way I know how much I'm grabbing, how much I'm eating. And you would be amazed how you can control your weight. So if you're trying to lose weight, you're saying, look, I need to get 5-10 pounds off me, cut your caloric intake down, measure your food, weigh your food, weigh yourself, make sure you're keeping track of what you're doing, and you can really easily lose weight that way. It may take you maybe 4 or 6 weeks. Depends on how much weight you're trying to lose, but it's a really simple way of doing it because a lot of times it's just about controlling what you eat and doing that portion control. Didn't see the portion control video? You'll see it going across my head. There's going to be a link for it. There'll also be a link in the description of the video on portion control. It talks about weighing your food and how much food you should eat, some tricks and tips that you can use to make sure that you control your portion. So on that Ziploc chapter, all I basically talk about is buying the Ziploc bag, putting your food in there so that you can store it already measured so that it's convenient. So pick a day of the week, whether it be Saturday, Sunday, and maybe you're off during the week, and just weigh your food out, put it in Ziploc bags, prepare your meals, make sure you have those things ready. That way when you get hungry, you don't grab the wrong thing. That way when you get hungry and if you're in the vehicle and you're saying, I'm hungry, if you're on the way home, if you're driving home from work or some other event and you're hungry, what happens when you're thinking, when I get home, there's nothing prepared at the house, so I'm gonna have to cook. Well, I don't feel like cooking. So what do? You stop at McDonald's, you stop at Wendy's, you stop at some place. And sometimes you try to get something healthy. I get it. But remember, it's still gonna be processed. So if you go to Wendy's and you get a salad from Wendy's, guys, it's gonna have a ton of sodium in there, right? They have to put all of these ingredients and things to make the shelf life longer so that they can keep it in the store longer. So when you buy it, you guys get that? So make sure that you have prepared food. It's easier to be on the way home and say, I'm hungry. Should I stop and grab something to eat? Nope, I got salad in the refrigerator already. I've already got some prepared food. I got some prepared meals in the refrigerator. Now all you're doing is fighting that on the way home. And if you keep water with you, you can solve that issue. So you guys know how I am with my water. If you got some water, drink some water, put a little bit of something in your stomach, get to your house, have your prepared food. You'll control your caloric intake, guys, and you can lose some weight doing that. Plus, you'll eat healthier. And it's about having a healthier lifestyle so that you can live longer. So nothing will like putting that burden on your loved one of being unhealthy and them pushing you around in a wheelchair at 60 years old because you decided that you want to eat unhealthy. So it's really easy to eat healthy. All you have to do is follow a system. Again, I'm not asking you to get on a diet. I'm not telling you to stop eating your ice cream. I'm not telling you that you can't eat your Oreos when you want to. All I'm telling you to do is do it in moderation and try to do some calorie cycling so that you don't have to worry about that. So if you say, I'm going to take in, hypothetically speaking, 2,000 calories a day, right? That means throughout the week at 2,000 a day is 7 days in a week. So that's, what is that? That's 14,000 calories that you can take in, 2,000 a day times 7 days. So that's 14,000 calories that you can take in for the week. So you can cycle your calories. So you don't have to do 2,000 a day. So if you have a cheat day or you say, I want to eat my ice cream and your calories are 2,600 one day, just make sure the next day that you do 1,400 or somewhere in that week. Or you may be a faster. Like I intermittent fast, but some of you guys may be fasting for 24 hours. So remember, you can have a day where you eat 3,000 calories instead of 2,000. But what you do is you fast another day of the week, so you're not taking in any calories because you fasted for 24 hours. So if you say I'm taking in 2,000 a day and it's 7 days in a week, so I can take in 14,000 calories a week, as long as you don't go over that 14,000 calories, you will either sustain your weight or lose weight if you're looking to do that. Does that make sense? So just keep in mind, again, there's ways to do this to make sure that you're healthy where you don't kill yourself, because I don't want you to kill yourself because that's going to make you not do it at all. And it's better to do the best you can when it comes to this stuff as opposed to not doing anything at all. So that's pretty much it, guys, on that chapter. So we covered Ziplocs and what to have in your refrigerator. I think I pretty much got all the things I wanted to show you guys here. Yeah, I got all of my stuff in. So I showed y'all everything I want to show you guys. So fruits, vegetables, very healthy, guys. Ziploc bags to make your snacks. Have some lean protein in the house so you can prepare some meals. Some beef if you eat beef, some chicken if you eat chicken. If you eat fish, salmon, good source of protein. Scallops, a good source of protein, so that you can have those things available to cook them. They're not that expensive to have it. So that being said, anybody has any questions about anything, you can go ahead and open up your camera or open up your microphone if you have any questions, and I'll get a couple of questions answered before we close out here. Anybody?
Hey, Mr. Donda.
Once?
Hello?
Yes.
Are you hearing me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi.
I can.
When you talk about a vegetable,
What you got going on?
I eat a lot of vegetable, and I know they said that the one in the bag is better because I go and I buy the fresh one, and I think I will stop buying the fresh vegetable. I love spinach, I love cabbage, I love chard, I love beets, nuts. I can't eat nuts because I have something you call the diverticulitis. So scientifically, they said that the nuts don't bother you, but I try to stay away from all the seeds. The tomato, I have to take the seeds out, and the cucumber. And the other day I said, you know what? I'm so sick and tired of it. I really have to try to change my diet. Chicken these days, I am chicken fighting. I don't really eat the chicken. I eat the salmon. I love turkey. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I may walk in the grocery and I see the meat and I get sick. I have to walk out. I don't know what causes it. I have to walk out. But I buy a lot of salmon. I like swordfish. I like turkey. I love turkey. Now and again, my body will ask for a T-bone steak. My body will ask for it, and I will go buy the most.
I like the way you said that. You said your body asked for it.
Yeah. It just said, look, I feel like eating a T-bone.
You said your body asked for it.
Yeah, I said, the body said, I feel like eating a T-bone steak, and I will go look for the best one, and I don't care what price it costs, and I'm going to buy it, and I'm going to eat it. But this is what I do. And as you said, and I used to eat, so I'm going to go back to the vegetable in the bag. And because as with the diverticulitis, because I said I'm going to talk to an herbalist, I don't take medication. But if I eat a seed or something and it gets into the pocket, oh, my stomach kills me. Milk, I love milk, but milk don't like me. I love milk. Milk don't like me. I cannot eat banana. I don't know because of the little seeds in it, but I haven't eaten it for years. And I want to going back and try to eat the banana because I really can't take this stomach ache. It really, and they went down, they put the camera, they said everything was fine. But I just want to eat the right food, so it's not going to bother me. The water.
And like you said, if you're talking to your doctor, so like ask your doctor. I mean, again, as ask your doctor what you can and can't eat. What find out why you can't eat certain things, because there's always substitutes that you can. Like if meat is bothering you, again, you said you like fish. Yeah, I mean, you can get plenty of protein from fish. So you don't have to do chicken. You don't have to do beef. I do chicken.
Right.
I don't really do beef, but I do chicken and I do fish. That's where I get the majority of my protein from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would tell you,
So,
the vegetables in the bag, they are the freshest vegetables. You can ask your doctor. You can ask a dietitian. They'll tell you. I was doing fresh vegetables too for years. I just found out about maybe a year and a half ago that frozen bag vegetables are fresher than fresh vegetables, of course, unless you're growing them in your backyard. So if you're farming your own vegetables, then eat those because you're growing them and you can pick them and you can cut them. So that's as fresh as you're going to get because you got them in your own backyard. But if you're going to the farmer's market, if you're going to the fresh vegetable area in the grocery store, the frozen vegetables are going to actually be fresher. They're going to actually be fresher. So I would say go with the, like I said, I use the Bird's Eye. You can use whatever brand you want, but I get the big bag of Bird's Eye, about $5.98. And I get the Normandy, I get the California. Sometimes I get the mixed. You can get, or you can get the individual vegetables, broccoli, cauliflower, all those different things. So it's totally up to, whatever your liking is.
And I love rice cake.
Absolutely.
I like rice cake. And I'm rinsing my mouth out.
Yeah. I'm a big rice cake fan.
And I'm rinsing my mouth out when I drink my coffee. I was like, look at those brown things.
There you go. See? Yeah. So you followed last week, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, rinse it. When you drink that coffee, rinse your mouth out or brush your teeth, whatever way. I mean, if you can get to get toothbrush, brush your teeth. I'm gonna have it brushing my teeth after I drink coffee, and I drink coffee about 3 times a day. So I'll brush my teeth morning and night, and then 3 times during the day drinking coffee. So I end up brushing my teeth 5 times a day because I drink coffee. But it's good because you don't want your teeth to get stained with coffee because it would definitely stain your teeth. So if you can't brush your teeth, just rinse your mouth out at the faucet, and you're good. So and I'm noticing now that I've said that, I'm seeing other videos that talk about that as well. Just other videos that back that same thing. That if you have a cup of coffee, brush your teeth afterwards. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Anybody else have anything? Got any question? Anything? Go ahead and unmute yourself. Ask your question.
Mr. Dunbar.
Going once.
Hello.
Going twice.
Hi.
Yes.
I just want to say thank you so much for this. I believe I used to count my calories and I just stopped doing that. But you made it inspiring with, what you're telling us tonight. So I really got to work on that. But I only just eat just a little serving because many of us, when we're overweight per se, it's really what we're eating, and we're eating too much of whatever it is. Now, my husband, as far as vegetables, I eat nothing but fish and chicken. And my husband, it was really funny when we got married 20 some years ago, he didn't like canned vegetables. And his mom talked to me and she's like, "Are you cooking for my son?" I said, "Yes, ma'am. I'm a box and a can lady." But anyway, his father worked at the canning company. So that's why we don't eat canned goods anymore. We eat, the packages, the frozen packages. But, everything that you're saying, I'm like, oh my God. But it's just that I only eat just a little bit of whatever, because I just don't want to, in my mid years, I just don't want to really be obese. And, if you really look at yourself and tell yourself what you want, you'll do whatever you have to do to keep your health and to keep your size. But I am going to have to work on losing a couple of pounds because I'm not where I want to be. But I believe that it's my water intake. I really have been focusing on that for like the last, I'd say about 2 months. You've been, sort of dropping it on us about the H2O. So, but I'll get there. I'll get there. I'm gonna get the ebook.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. If you're doing anything, it's like I tell like my clients that I work with that go to the gym, and like they're like, I only made it to the gym one day last week, and I'm like, look, somebody didn't go to the gym at all. Somebody ain't been to the gym in a month. So you made it last week. That's good. You made it there. Like something is better than nothing, right? Something is always better than nothing. So do it a little bit at a time so you can get it to where it's consistent. You're doing everything the way that you should be doing it. But if you can start counting your calories, it really does work. It does it makes you healthier. You feel better about yourself. Like I said, I use my Fitness Pal. So with my Fitness Pal, it's so much easier because you can scan things in. You don't have to type things in. Like, all I have to do is take my Fitness Pal, take my baby carrots, go to the bar, scan the bar. It pulls it right into the app. It tells me how many calories, how many everything that's on the bag of potassium, vitamins. It pulls it right into the app.
Okay.
Even restaurant food. So let's say you went to Cheesecake Factory and got some coconut shrimp. You can go to the app, and when you put that you ate something, you can type in there coconut shrimp Cheesecake Factory, and they'll pull up. They'll be in there. You can click them, and then it adds it in there. So you don't have to type a bunch of stuff in there. You can always make meals as well. So like all of my protein shakes and stuff that I make, I'll make them, and then I'll make them a recipe. Like you can click and make it a meal. So when I go to eat it again, all I gotta do is click that meal, and it pulls it right up. So I don't have to worry about every single time I'll eat that meal again. I got to put that meal back into that again. All I got to do is go grab it as a meal and bring it on in there. So it makes it convenient to count the calories. It makes it convenient for you to track what you're eating so that you know what's making you gain weight, what's making you lose weight. If you have a bad stomach, so if you eat something and the next day you feel bloated or you feel like you got gas or you're using the bathroom too much, guess what you can do? Go to the app and look at what you ate yesterday.
Right.
And figure out why you felt that way. And it's good when it comes to health to be able to track what you're eating. That way you know what to eat and what not to eat. I know what to stay away from, and I know what I can eat, what I can't eat because I track everything that I eat. And it can be mundane sometimes, but guess what? It's also mundane being sick too.
Right.
So you always got to keep that in mind. It's mundane to be in a hospital bedridden. It's mundane to keep having to go to the doctor. It's mundane to have diabetes and have to stick yourself every morning because you're diabetic. So there's a lot of things that's mundane when you don't take care of your health. So it's like you see that bumper sticker that says a higher education is expensive, and then it says below that it costs more to be stupid. Right? It costs you a lot more when you ain't got no education than it does to pay for an education. So that's the same thing. You can buy multivitamins and supplements right now, or you can buy prescription medication later on.
Right.
But you're gonna pay now, and you're gonna pay later.
Right.
So it just makes sense to do the right thing so that you can be the best that you can be. So good stuff. Right. I appreciate you, Ms. Barbara.
That's one Absolutely. Thing. I don't take medicine. I don't take any medicine. So I just, when I go to my appointments with my doctor, I was telling my dentist last week about what we were doing. And, he was laughing because we were just talking. He was like, you still don't eat candy. See, I used to eat candy as a kid, but I very seldom eat sweets, very seldom eat sweets because I'm really serious about staying away from medicine. You know, so many of my family, friends
Mm-hmm.
with high blood pressure, and you know, looking at that, I just decided many, many years ago, I'll just do whatever I have to do, whatever I watch what I put in my body. And that's what a lot of us don't. We just, you know, we just go with the flow. And that's something I don't do. But I'm also going to have to work on my exercise and really, you know, during the pandemic. So I really need to
Mm-hmm.
step that up too. So, but I know the things, a few things that I have to really, really make the adjustment and do it. And I should be at my ideal weight once I really start walking all around like I used to do. But it's funny because sometimes my husband working at home and I get up and I wave bye to him. And I sometimes I've gone like an hour and a half, and he's like, "Where have you been?" I said, "Oh, I just went downtown and I just started walking. I just get up and go." So, but I'll get there. I'll get there. But
You
thank
will.
you
It's a
for all of
process.
this. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a process. It's a process. Anybody else? Statement, question, comment?
I have a question. Hey, Robert.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. Hey, brother, how you doing?
it's been good. I've been good. Thank you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm catching up from. It's been a long while, but my question is, I'm gonna catch up on the recordings, what you've
Mm-hmm.
been doing on health, and when the time is right, how would that work? Say, hey, I want to talk to you more about whatever it is, my goal, health goal with you. Meaning, since I'm behind, like I'll catch
Yeah.
up and then say, hey, Robert, I'm ready to do the following, whatever it is. Can we
Right.
have a talk more? And
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah. I do consultation, free consultation. So like all you gotta do is click, like I have a link. I should have a link. Well, this video is not edited yet, but once it's edited, you'll see a link there. But I can I have your information, like I have your email and stuff. So I'll email you a link and you can click it and then you can set up a free consultation. Like you go there, it'll pull up my calendar, just schedule it, and then when I get get it back from you, I'll add a Zoom link to it and send it back to you. And then
Mhm.
whatever day and time you chose, you have a Zoom link you can click on and we can do a consultation. And then you just let me know what you got going on.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. 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 Anytime. Anytime.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any questions, comments, statements?
Mr.
Going
Dunbar,
once?
Mr. Dunbar, I
Yes.
I can't I can't believe it's butter. I used to say, oh, I never buy it, and I see you using it. So that's a good
Yeah,
butter.
you know what? I wasn't using it. I was just using the Earth Balance at one time, which is the plant-based vegan butter. So I use that too. I use the plant-based vegan butter. I use that, but I also use that. I can't believe it's not butter. This brand has gotten a lot better than what it was when it first came out. So just keep in mind that it depends on what you're staying away from, what you're not staying away from, like what you're not willing to eat. For me, very low calories. It's low on sodium for me, which is good for me. And when I look at my ingredients, not a whole bunch of like ingredients. Like I don't like to see all the gums and all that other kind of stuff. So
Right.
this doesn't have all those different things. So it does have some soy in there. So if you staying away from soy, it's not going to be a good one to use. It's got the palm oil in there, purified water, soybean oil, palm kernel. So it depends on what you're willing to take and what you're not willing to take. So I mixed it up. Sometimes I use I can't believe it's not butter, the light version. And sometimes I use my Earth Balance, which is my plant-based soy butter. So whichever I'll use one of the two. But they're both decent. But when you go to grocery stores, look at them and see whether there's some things in there that you can't have.
Okay.
Yeah,
The only thing
absolutely. Yep.
seed.
Huh?
I can't have
What'd you
seeds.
say?
Nothing with seeds. I can't eat
Gotcha.
seeds. Yeah.
And
Okay.
whenever, this is always my go-to. This is always my go-to too, my extra virgin olive oil. So I use
Yeah, I use that.
a lot of this extra virgin olive oil. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Healthy fat, good oil.
could-
So I'm make sure I use that. I cook in that all the time, and I put just a little bit. And actually, they've got a mister that you can use too that you can buy. So they have a spray bottle, a mister. It's called an oil mister, and you can buy a mister and you can pour this in here. So now you're not putting,
The California olive oil has one.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, they got a mister that you can pour it in there, and now you're just spraying the bottom of your pan, as opposed to pouring it in there and kind of not knowing how much is in there. You just spray just to get the bottom wet, and then you can throw your scallops or your shrimp or your chicken breast or whatever it is you're cooking in there on that extra virgin olive oil, and just, a tablespoon, maybe 2 tablespoons. That's enough, and you're getting your healthy fats, and it's just a good oil to use. So I use that as well. So good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? All right. So next week we'll be going through we got a couple of more things to go through. We're still gonna hit the chapter on label reading, where we're gonna talk about nothing but how to read labels and things you should be looking for and staying away from, and how to properly read labels in the store and know what you get, not just looking at the back of a label. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that. Not next week, but we're gonna talk about that as well. But we got some other topics that we're gonna be covering still. So we got a couple more weeks left in the Health is Success book here. So make sure, if you don't have the book, pick the book up, $9.98. There'll be a link in the description of this video, and also you can all the videos that I have on Health and Success on my YouTube channel. Every one of them, when you click the description, right at the top of the description, and it has the link for the book, for the ebook. So you can click on it, go ahead and get the ebook if you don't have the book already, if you want the book, so that it just kind of helps you with that better lifestyle, better eating. So appreciate you guys for being on, for sticking with me here this week. Next week, we'll be back again, getting some things done. And I will let you guys know when I open up on Clubhouse. I'm doing something tomorrow on Clubhouse, but it's not on health. But with Clubhouse, I'm starting to get a little bit more into doing some rooms in there. And I'm going to be doing a lot more in the Clubhouse on health, on leadership, on mindset, things like that on Clubhouse. If you guys don't know what Clubhouse is, it's a new app that's been out since I think November, and it's kind of going crazy. You have to have an Apple to get on it right now. They haven't opened it up to Android yet. It's still in beta mode, but it's growing like really big, and it's a great app to be using. So I've been doing some things on Clubhouse. So look forward to seeing you guys in the future, and you guys have a great evening. Absolutely.
Thanks again, Robert. Great session. Thank you.
You got it, brother. Absolutely. Thanks for being on.
Okay, good. Thank you. Good night now.
Good night.
Thank you, Robert. Good night.
Thank you,
Good night. Bye.